Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to BandLab Plus Coffee. It's time to wake up, wind up, and queue up with another excellent BandLab track. This morning, we've got Longest Time by Xena Giam. Xena Giam? Xena Giam. Oh man, I apologize, but that's what I got. Xena Giam. Longest Time. So without further ado, to the lab. Excellent track. Over here on the lab, we've got Xena. Longest time reppin' 558 followers out of Singapore. That's at XenaGiam. And the genre on this one is country. I saw this on the featured tracks on the Explore page and heard a little piece of it and was like, ooh, I want to save that for BandLab Plus Coffee. So let's take a listen. No details on the name. 3.79 thousand plays. Great guitar. Real country feel.
For the longest time, I thought that I was difficult to love.
Where are my lyrics, Xena?
For the longest time, I keep falling apart. I've lost a part of me. Was a missing puzzle piece.
Really great how we went from the acoustic to the electric.
Goodbye to me. Oh, honey, what do you say about me?
Ooh, that long tail reverb was really good.
To end this misery.
Oh yeah, all the country vibes.
For the longest time, I thought that you were in love with someone else.
It's available to fork.
As time passes by, I realize we wouldn't end well. As you look me in the eye,
Good build on that pre-chorus here. Oh, great background vocals with some chorusing on them.
You used to be all that I believe. What do you say about it?
And then it ends. Man, what a cool song. Xena, Longest Time over here on BandLab. 506 likes when you include one of our own. It's already inspired 4 projects. It is forkable. This is quintessential country. Quintessential country. So let's just jump right into 2 things I love and 1 thing I want more of. The first thing I love about this track is how we go from electric to acoustic to electric in the vein of true country. Let's take a listen. Yeah. Just that whining electric guitar. But then once we jump into the verse, we're going to go acoustic.
For the longest time, I thought that I was difficult to love.
Those background pads.
For the longest time, I keep falling apart. I lost a part of me.
And then we slowly start to bring that electric guitar back in. Really, really enjoy how we're moving from electric to acoustic to electric. Very country. It lets everyone know, oh, okay, we've got like a slide guitar happening, so definitely some country. We also have the acoustic happening, which gives us this really intimate feeling in the verse. And then we jump back into the electric, which is where we stay for most of the song after that. But I do really very much enjoy this acoustic portion of the track as it leads into the electric, that country pop style. Now, the second thing I love are these vocals, which is also going to turn into the one thing I want more of. However, first and foremost, take a listen to how this is mixed in the beginning. It feels like there's a very nice pocket for these vocals to sit in. And when the vocals sit in the pocket, then the track feels cohesive. When the vocals sit too on top of the track, it sounds like you're just singing over music as opposed to creating an entire experience. So in this first verse specifically, listen to how these vocals sit.
For the longest time,
Great volume, great live feel.
I thought that I was difficult to love.
Sounds like we've got an 1/8 note delay on there, a lot of reverb.
For the longest time,
And it sounds like we're really close up on the mic, really hot.
Apart.
It's going to lead to a more intimate sounding vocal.
I lost a part of me. Was a missing puzzle piece.
The background vocals are subtle. Just a really great folksy country singer-songwriter jam. I would love the lyrics so that I can really follow the story. But just a phenomenal singer-songwriter jam. Now you'll notice in the mastering process or in the mixing process, we have some peaks and valleys here in the waveform, and then we still have them over here. But once we get towards the end of the song, we kind of flatline. What this means in theory, not always in practice, in theory, is that we're hitting unity. We're hitting 0 on that decibel meter, and we're just kind of pushing loudness. And if you're not mixing very intentionally to make sure certain frequencies don't overpower each other, then loudness comes at the compromise, with the compromise of clarity. And when we do that, you can see here we have these really clear vocals in the pocket on the instrumental. And even on this chorus. But once that electric really starts keying in here,
as time passes by,
I still get the vocal,
I realize
but it becomes a little muddled in the mix. So So the one thing I want more of is I want to take a little bit of the low end out of this electric guitar. We've got the electric guitar probably buzzing in that 150 to 400 range, maybe even 500, which is great. We want something there, but we want to carve out this little space for the vocal to keep doing its thing. Whether we use automation or we use a bypass plugin to come in only when the guitar becomes more prominent in the track, we really want to give Xena's voice a chance to shine through the entire track. We got it in the first verse and the first chorus, and then when the mix becomes more dense, we just have to carve out a new pocket, which is the one thing I want more of. I want us to carve out a pocket throughout the rest of the mix where that electric guitar is still there and it still shines, but not every instrument needs every part of the EQ spectrum that it's recorded with. In fact, most of them get things added and taken away as principle. We know that something like strings will dominate a lot of low mids if you don't carve them correctly. And we know that the low end of a track can get super muddy if there are too many frequencies. And then you feel in your track that something's not right, even if you can't always hear it. It also affects your loudness at the end of the day, because all of this sound feeds into those limiters and compressors at the end, and you can only limit things so far. And the more that you bring the volume up, the more you hear from your original recordings, which goes all the way back to make sure you track a good recording, because those things don't just disappear. Noise gates can be your friend if you're not recording in an ideal environment. Longest Time by Xena Giam. This is a phenomenal country track. In fact, I very much vibe with it. We're adding it to the iVibe playlist. You too can get added to the iVibe playlist. Just send me your tracks. Remember, we don't do explicit music on this show. It's family friendly. It's for everyone. And really the goal is to teach, to learn, and to actively listen, not so much to, make it big and run the game. So keep the explicit tracks for your primary fan base and send me your mainstream tracks so that I can go ahead and review those on the show. Everyone needs to make sure they jump over to BandLab and follow Xena Giam out of Singapore. And you know what? While you're over there, you should just follow DJTatious on YouTube, BandLab, and wherever you choose to consume your social media. In the meantime, thanks so much for waking up, winding up, and queuing up another excellent track with me. And we will see you next time.